Hi, I'm Frank John Burkhardt Jr., owner of Burkhardt Nurseries in Pasadena, California, and I'm here to give you tips on growing gardenias indoors. Now, first of all, I brought in two different gardenias. One that's been a little bit more neglected, had some problems, which we're going to talk about, and then we have one that's more healthy. The reason why this one's more healthy, it has a little bit better light. When growing indoors, it's very, very, very important that you have great lighting. Because with the gardenias, to get them to bloom and to open their buds, they're going to need to have some good light. So very first thing you'll do is make sure that you've got good lighting. Second thing, what you want to make sure is you do not overwater your gardenia plants. This one here has been overwatered. We can tell. We have a little iron chlorosis right here, excuse me. It has like a little Christmas tree vein effect. We have some dieback on the branches over here, which causes, this is a root rot coming down. So when you start to see things like that, where there's a little dead here, there's a little tip burn, you're overwatering. So you need to let the gardenias dry out. And especially inside, it's very important. You can go ahead and use a device like a water meter, which will give you kind of an idea, a rough idea on if it's really dry. My favorite is going to be my finger, and I'll jam my finger in there and see if it's moist. If it's still moist, let it go maybe another 3-4 days. Maybe let it go another week. These need to dry out between waterings. They're not cactus, so don't keep them too dry that you kill them. But it's very, very, very important. Another thing, growing gardenias indoors, again, anytime you have something indoors that's from outdoors indoors, there's always going to be a disease factor or an insect factor. So what you need to do is you examine your gardenias, make sure it doesn't get scale, because gardenias will get scale, mealybug, various pests inside. And what you need to do is examine, make sure if you have it, treat it at an early stage. And again, you can use the paraffin wax, you can use canola oil, and these guys are organic, so they're fairly safe to use. It's better if you take the plant outside, unless it's freezing or snowing, but if you've got like a warm place like a garage, you could take it out there and spray the entire plant, leave it out there, clean it up, take the leaves off, make sure that everything is looking better, then bring it inside. Problem is, if you leave it in the garage and you've got snow and it gets down to the 20s, you've killed your gardenia plant. So it's very, very important to put them in a nice warm spot if you're going to take them outside to treat them for insects or disease problems. Also, it's very important to fertilize your gardenia plants so that they'll bloom. So you want to use a 4-6-4 for the fertilizing of your gardenias. Again, you've got to be careful because being organic, it may have blood meal in it, so you've got to be a little careful. Liquid fish is one of my favorites, but you wouldn't want to fertilize that inside. So again, when you've got it out in the garage, maybe it's best to fertilize it, let it deodorize itself, then bring it back in. Or a lot of people use the Osmocote, which is more chemical, but it's slow release. I'm Frank Burkhardt, and those are tips for growing gardenias inside.